Hello everybody, Iain, Robson here. Welcome back to Oklahoma. Today we're going to go ahead and feed the cattle. I've actually already fed them once already, but the dairy cows need lots of feed, so we're going to feed the cattle, and I think we're going to progress time ahead one day here. I'm in the case right now. I got TMR in the TMR mixer, go figure. And we're going to go ahead and, like I said, give the cattle some feed. Apparently I left that Massey Ferguson right there. This is why it doesn't work out well when I try to organize things. I just leave it where I left it last, and it's easier to find for me, I guess. I don't know. All right, let's go let's give the cows a little bit of TMR here. All right. So one of the nice things about the PDA mod here is it tells you what's the maximum you can give the cows. In this case, they can take 150,000 liters of TMR, which is pretty cool. So you can make up quite a large amount, and they'll still take all of the TMR. Whereas the beef cows take they only took 8,000. I tried to fill up the rest of their trough, and they wouldn't take it. It's really strange. All right. Go ahead and get the water hooked up here, and we'll give the cattle a little bit of water, and then we'll see what else needs to be done. They need some straw as well, actually. 10,000 liters, nice. I guess I could give water to them, give them water on the other side, I suppose, too. They'd have water on both sides, basically, so I don't know if this is easier or more difficult, but I was just pointing in this direction, so. And here's the water trough on this side here. Although it won't say unload, like you don't press Q, which is always throws me off. Let's bring up that information again for the dairy cows here. They can take 3 of these three of these actually, so. Which is pretty ridiculous. They need some straw too. They only have 6% straw. 90,000 liters of liquid manure, though. It's not bad. It's maybe enough for part of a field. Not a lot, to be honest with you. You go through a ton of liquid manure, especially when you're trying to feed your fields. I'll go with that, because you will go through just a boatload of it. Like, you could have 800,000 liters and use 400,000 liters maybe for one field sometimes. It's crazy. Alright, let's just line up here. It'll automatically fill again, which is lovely. Alright, I'm going to do that a couple more times. I'll be back in a sec. Alright, and we are back. And we're going to go ahead and give our cows a little bit of straw. So I just came over with the trailer, obviously, with straw on it. Collected some of the straw, put it on here. Gave a couple of bales to the beef cows already. So we're just going to see how much the dairy cows need. They might take, let's guess, how many bales would it be? Well, actually, quite 10, it looks like, almost. Alright, so let's go ahead and spread a few bales of straw here. Of course, this is done with the bale feed mod, which you can get on Mod Hoster. That's what I use. That's the one I have, at least. There may be some other ones out there, but I don't know why you'd need another one if this does a great job. Another one by Upside Down. Makes perfect sense, though. In reality, is this something you would actually... you could use a chopper, I suppose, too. That would be another option. Or a straw blower. But when you're small scale, you would just do it manually like this. Although, I guess technically, if we were to look at... if we were to look at the size of our farm, I don't think it would be considered small scale, but that's besides the point. Alright. How many is that now? Those bales are just hanging there, that's funny. There we go. And they're there just because the way it works. I don't know why that works that way, because it'll kind of just sit there for a bit until you move the tractor again, and then until you move the tractor, you won't be able to. How much? Yeah, they have enough straw now. There you go, perfect. And then with the with the right mod, which in this case is the, I think whenever I have to find this mod on Mod Hoster, I just Google Flygoal Auto Charge. I don't know why, but that's what, oops, I don't need to go this way. That's what I end up finding. That's how I find it, at least. Alright, back in a moment. Alright, so I just progressed time ahead, and it looks like field number 2 and 3 are ready to be harvested, as you can see. So that is, what, soybeans, sunflowers, can't even understand what I'm trying to say here. Sunflowers and sorghum is what we got ready here. Which are, of course, both, they are both corn headers, basically, so let's get the corn header out. Let's move this truck out of the way for the time being here. That's how I got over here in the 350. If we grab the combine, which is over by the main area here, we can just drop off that header because we don't need that one. We'll just keep this header and we'll head over there. Alright, just got the combine ready to go here. And from this little section at least, there we go. Is that right? Yeah, that's good. I guess one of the nice things you can do with the GPS mod, of course, is change it so you can see where the lines are, which is always very helpful, I find. Which I don't know why. Oh, it just looks like it's way over there. So the yield should be decent on here. We'll see how it goes. The edges are always a little bit lower than what you want them to be, of course, because when you're at the edges, that's when it takes into account everything. So if I were to bring up the information, so if I were to bring up, let's say the PK, as you can see, it's detecting all the way around that area. So that area over there, I didn't really spray, but I sprayed this area right in here, so. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Oh well. There we go. Let's bring it up to 20 kilometers an hour here. Not too bad. What we'll do is we'll come back around with the, I guess we don't really need a cultivator per se here. Could just direct seed. The reason I say that is because if I bring the Kuhn Kraus out once again with the soil bed conditioner after, it's going to increase the moisture level, which I don't need at the moment. 71 is pretty high. So, should be interesting to see how it all plays out at least. Very cool. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Alright, so just finishing up the first headland here. We're almost at a full load here. So I brought the truck around. I'm going to go ahead and just unload right here. Might as well. We should be able to get into the trailer. Yes, good. Nice. There we go. Oh, should be curious to see what the actual yield ended up being in the end. I suspect it'll be. It's okay so far. I can't remember if sunflower is a high yielding crop or not. With soil mod, I mean. Like sometimes there are some specific ones. For example, like soybeans tends to be a high yield. Oats tends to be a high yield. It just depends on the way the map's designed a little bit. And I didn't tinker with that stuff at all, but some people have. So, like for example, what was a good example? The newbie farm, for example. That one I believe has had the, well, it used to have the yields modified a little bit. I guess with the soil mod, basically, it does all the modifying itself. So, like, if you're good at maintaining the fields, then you'd have a good yield, and if you're bad at maintaining the fields, you have a bad yield, basically. So, that's how it works. In that context, at least. One of the funny things about this particular combine is it does take a while to unload, in comparison to some other combines, at least. But I do like it. Almost done there. Gonna finish up, and then we can just keep going. Perfect. I'm just gonna keep the pipe out for now, just because, why not? It's funny though, what happens often is, depending on what crop you plant, and what mods you have installed, sometimes your FPS will be affected by it, sometimes it won't. For example, I always find chopped straw is really rough. on your computer for whatever reason. I don't know what the deal is there, but it always seems like it's one of the rougher ones. So it'll be, you know, any kind of combination of things. Like it's usually a combination of like mods and what's going on in the map and how big the map is sometimes as well. Now, I don't know how to... I'm not very good at optimizing maps, per se. I'm not really good at optimizing it. I'm not an expert map maker, that's for sure. There's definitely some more people out there who are better at it than I am, so... I'll have to leave that up to the experts. Interestingly enough, though, we are going to have sunflowers in 2017, which is coming up, what, in a couple weeks, I guess, now? So I should be curious to see what kind of animation they have. So like, this particular header has like corn, of course, whereas I hope that I hope at least the in-game in 2017 will have a better animation than corn here. So should be kind of curious. All right, time to make turn number 2. So this is gonna be I'm only gonna do one headline because I really only need the one. Let's get lined up here. And there we go. Get lined up and get started. So this should be a slightly different yield than the outside edge because we got 5 and 3. So 5 and 4 is the ideal, of course, and the ideal moisture is 57%, which I'm a bit over. Doesn't matter what you... There's always going to be something that's not perfect. It's very difficult to get like a perfect combination of like moisture, nutrients, and pK, of course. So that's one of the downfalls, I guess. Now the ironic part about this right now is the fact that originally there were sunflowers on the south field, or field number 3, but we never got around to harvesting them, which is kind of ironic. So, all right, that's load number 2. We should be able to fill the trailer up, or close to at least, I would suspect. Pretty close, I think. I'm not sure 100% what the actual final tally will be, but I'm pretty sure it'll be close to, I don't know, maybe what do we get? 20,000, so maybe it'll be close to 75%, maybe? Something in that area. We'll see what it's at. Yeah, because these are Joe Lindbergh's combines, one of the interesting things about them is they actually have a larger capacity, so it's actually really nice for some of those high-yielding crops. So you don't have, they'll keep running in the field for a longer period of time as opposed to having to go back and unload them every single time. So definitely one of the nice things about them. Also, I saw something interesting on the, I was looking at the FS17 information about some of the, I think it was like a fact sheet or something like that, and they actually had a really cool forage harvester in there for the birch trees, which was kind of interesting, because like one of the things I don't like is about the forestry side of things is the fact that you have to cut down trees usually, and that's kind of a pain. It can be, at least. But with a forage harvester with birch trees, it's not so bad, so it should be interesting to see how that plays out. Apparently it's done in some places. I've never seen it done in my neck of the woods, but it's not to say it's not done at all. But it's just one of those odd things you just don't see very often. Like I said, not in my neck of the woods at least, but you know, it could be kind of an interesting element to the game once we get some mods rolling. Things like some of the mods that incorporate wood chips, for example, will be kind of cool. Like some of Stevie's maps have some really neat, interesting things on them. So you can do stuff like creating pallets and stuff like that with wood chips. What else can you do with them? I think there's one mod where you can make... no, that's with straw. Never mind. I was like, you can make straw into pellets, but that's about it. I think I actually have that one installed still. Let's double check. I think I might. Let's see. It is a baler, technically, which is bizarre. Nope. It's a crone baler. No, I must have taken it. Oh, no, there it is. So you can make forage, which is really bizarre. But you can do it. So, go figure. I don't think it's at... I'm not sure how much more or less efficient it is, but you can definitely do it, so... I'm kind of curious how it works out. Just put the truck on courseplay there, so I can continue harvesting. Keep the ball rolling, so to speak. and hopefully we can get this field done in good time. Well, at least I hope, at least. You never know, though. Sometimes you'll run into problems. For example, a game crashing. I've had that happen the last couple times, which has been kind of strange, actually. It's not a normal thing, but it just seems like it's been the last couple times have been kind of strange, actually, because it's happened at random points where you wouldn't think it would happen. Like last time I was playing North Oak Township, it crashed because I was trying to seed with a seeder without ridge markers, which is a normal bug. I should have remembered that one, but I haven't seeded with that small seeder for ages, so that never helps. And the other day when I crashed on this map, I wasn't sure what the deal was there. It was kind of just like as I was turning, it was kind of just had a whole conniption fit sort of idea, and it just totally crashed. It was very strange. But, yeah, what's new? It's farm sim, it does it all the time, right? So, I'm just going to stop the driver there and continue my turn. So GPS, because I did a headland, it'll just automatically turn, just like that. Gotta love GPS. Last time I went up this hill, I think I had ran into some problems with the combine, but maybe I didn't. I don't remember. I know I definitely ran into problems last time I was bailing on this particular hill. I had the case 280, whichever one I have. I forget what it is now. It is the case 240 CVX. The case 240 CVX with the baler, with the bale handling trail at the end. That the combination together presented a problem. Just with the hill specifically, it was really strange. On level ground, it was perfectly fine, but going up the hill, it always had a problem. So go figure. But I suppose in real life, it probably would as well. And that makes sense. It'll be curious to see how FS17 handles some of those aspects. Whether they stay true to what you'd expect from real life, or they kind of branch away from that. Farming Simulator kind of has they kind of do a bit of both sometimes. They do one thing on one side and they do some other stuff on the other side, so send that guy home there. Working our way back up the hill again here. We've done pretty well so far with sunflowers. I think when we first started out we didn't have any sunflowers at all, and we take a look at the tally. We have 96,000 liters of sunflowers thus far. So that's 84,000 liters so far on less than half the field. So I think maybe we've done just a bit more than a third there. So that's not too bad actually when you think about it. Could be a lot worse, I suppose. Could be you could harvest the field and basically be useless, which has happened before, of course. I know I've done that before when we started the multiplayer map. Everything's ready to be harvested, but all the nutrients aren't so great. But you still harvest it because it's something, but it can be kind of time consuming at times, so you have to be kind of careful about that. So we've all run into it before. You kind of jump on a map, start playing, but it's not always as great as you'd like it to be because just the way the map is set up. So sometimes that's the way it is. But I do like this map. That's why I've stuck around on this map such a long time. Oh, apparently that cedar missed that little tiny bit up there. Yeah, that's the reason why I've stuck around so long on this map, but it has given me some problems. But it's kind of difficult to change something else because FS17 is so close. It's difficult to change something else when you're enjoying this map sort of idea. So, but for whatever reason, in the yard, it's always a problem. But outside the yard, not a problem. Not a problem at all. There we go. So, well, that's the way it goes sometimes, right? Anyways, what I'm going to do is going to finish this harvest off camera, and we'll come back next time and we'll work away on the sorghum that we have over there. Maybe we'll chaff that. Leave me a comment below if you'd like me to chaff the sorghum or like me to harvest the seeds. Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, my name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Oklahoma. I know I did. If you did, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Oklahoma. Got you guys. Later.